in, out, shake it all about.
Do the hokey pokey.
I've got nothing to add to that.
No.
And you turn around.
And that's what it's all about.
Hey!
Pow!
Popcorn Pundits.
Podcast.
Week.
Is it?
It's a week later than it was last week.
Is it 50?
It is 50. It's 50.
It's fucking 50.
It's 50.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Nice.
50 weeks in the can. Put you up.
How much is my compensation?
Loads. Have you been hit by a podcast pundit recently? You too can claim.
Who
That
are
sort of
we
thing.
and why are we here for 50 weeks?
We are the Popcorn Pundits. We are a trio of cinema lovers that love to excite our audience about what they should be going to see at the cinema and also at home.
Do we excite them?
Sometimes.
I think
Sometimes.
I think again that's their.
Is that my mic? Is
What's
that...
the word for it?
Yeah.
I'm just very conscious of the fact that you put me in my place and told me I'm not allowed to be right or wrong. It's just subjective.
I think so.
So I think it should be subjective whether people are
Are you
excited by it.
sitting on the fence about how we're being perceived?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Fair comment.
Yeah.
A bit like the reviews we're about to do tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yes,
isn't it?
indeedy. So on a weekly basis, Peter, Nikki and myself like to point out films that are not only... It's a bit askew, isn't it?
It's really
but to be
wonky.
fair, when you look at it on the screen, it looks perfectly
It looks
fine.
really
Yeah.
wonky. I'm sitting lower than you. It
Yeah.
makes you look taller than me.
Well, that's quite nice. Anyway...
I'm going to sit up straight.
Exactly. So we go to the
Show
cinema
back,
as
pit
often
tits out.
as we can. Thanks for that, Nikki.
That's okay.
And I also give Peter a little bit of homework as well. So we'd like to give a rundown on the top 10 at the UK charts at the moment. We'd like to highlight a couple of films we've seen at the cinema, and then you like to let us know what you thought about your homework.
Yes.
Nikki likes to point us out some facts and figures for us, ensuring that we are giving the correct information away, and you like to go a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
And then you like to get words wrong and make shit up.
Massively, particularly mispronouncing people's names.
Yes.
Thank you, Sheila Buff.
Yes, we had a message in from Leo. Hi, Leo.
Pendant's Corner.
Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
Who said thank you for letting me know last week who Sheila Buff was.
Translating it into English for me.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Peter, would you like to give us a top 10, please?
I certainly would. So this is the top 10 in the UK and Ireland up until the 7th of October 2024.
Oh, look, we're being bookended.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Number 10, a different man.
Yes, indeedy. Now, I went to see it at the cinema on Monday afternoon.
Did you?
I did indeed.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you a review about
Did
that.
I know about that?
You did. I put it on the post,
It
but
was,
it's all right.
yeah.
It's all right. You ignored it. It's
I've
fine.
been very busy.
Yes, I know you have.
Number 9, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, 40th edition. 40th edition.
40th edition.
Anniversary, not
Yeah.
edition.
40th anniversary edition.
Alright, calm down.
Yeah.
Number 8, 200% Wolf. We described that last week.
That's
We
the
did.
animated one,
That's
yeah.
right.
He's
Excellent.
a werewolf or something.
That's right.
Number
animated.
7 is Lee.
Lee. Chiki.
Very average.
Yeah.
Number
I
6,
did.
Despicable Me 4. Well,
It's still in the top
you
10.
missed your chance to
It's still in the top
I
10.
said-
I'm just ignoring you.
Despicable Me 4 is still in the top 10.
Yes. Still in the top 10.
And apparently still hasn't made more money than Inside Out 2. I can't still, honestly, I mean, how does that work?
I know.
It's
exactly.
not there. No one.
Yeah.
Number 5, The Outrun. I made a promise. I failed.
Kai went to see it. Hi, Kai. We're going to be sending the review to him tonight.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
He went to see it. He said it was absolutely brilliant. So that it's encouraging me to go and
Well,
see
there's
it.
no point in sending in a review now, is there?
Well, I don't know about
You've
that.
pissed on his parade.
Number 4,
Number 4 is The
the
Substance.
film of the year.
I can't wait to see this again.
Film of the year.
I'm getting really quite
I
giddy
know,
about it.
Exactly.
You've seen it, what, twice now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 3, Speak No Evil. Number 2,
Because we can.
Beetlejuice.
Because you let us.
What?
Because you let us.
Let us what?
Yeah. Not tomatoes, lettuce. Speak no evil.
Number
I don't
2.
have any clue what you're talking about. Number 2, Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Because they let us. Because you let us.
Fuck's sake, honestly. Number 1. Number 1 is one of the films we're going to review.
It is one of the films.
And
we're
now I
reviewing.
understand why you said we're booking ending.
Thank you very
Bookending
much.
it is because you've seen
My
the
dyslexic
film
brain.
in number 10 and position number 1.
It's like that.
It's
You still don't
bookending.
get-
I
you
understand
still
what
don't get
bookending
his
was. I
letters
just didn't know that you'd
there.
seen the one end of the books.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
there we go. So
That's your
that-
top 10.
That's our top 10.
Would you like to point out the films that apart from the films that we're reviewing tonight, which films would you
The
recommend?
Substance.
Beetlejuice.
No. Watch the original.
I know. I think they should go and watch Beetlejuice.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go and
So
see.
that's Beetlejuice, and
Don't go and see Make a Like a Lady Bless Bliss.
wait, which isn't in the top 10.
Which is a shame, isn't it?
Set
Really.
number 11.
Oh, I turned it over because I don't want to know what's at number 11. It doesn't matter.
Deadpool's at number 13.
Yeah, and number 12, Never Let Go. We reviewed that last week.
Exactly.
Pretty average, isn't it?
So
This week.
this week,
Moving on, let's look forward.
the films we've seen at the cinema this week are Joker Part 2
Yeah.
and also A Different Man.
Where would you like to begin, James?
Well, it's not up to me, it's up to the producer.
Where would you like to begin, Nikki?
Where would Peter like us to be? Have
Bloody
you
hell.
seen one this week?
I have seen Joker,
Yes.
colon, Folie à Deux, and we know what I think about anything with a colon in it.
Okay, in that case, let's leave the colon to second.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right, so
Tell me about A Different Man.
A Different Man.
You're
Well,
a different man.
I'm a different
It's a
man.
very different man.
Barely a...
Yeah, well. Right, so A Different Man. I spotted the trailer for this, and the trailer pretty much gave the whole story across, which is fine. So basically, what you have here is you've got a character played by Sebastian Stan, who's going to be in the new Trump movie, which is very, very excited about.
It looks really good.
Yeah, and he also was the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And bits and bobs like that. So he's got a bit of pedigree behind him. He's done some massive movies, and he's
Yeah.
also done some independent movies as well. And I think he's in a position now where he can pretty much do a really quirky independent movie produced by him as well.
Right, okay.
So it's gone underneath the radar for a lot of people, but the trailer pretty much tells what the story is. So the story is there's a character with he has a certain deformity on a similar sort of level to Elephant Man.
Oh my! I know exactly what
There
this
you
film
go.
is. Okay,
Right.
perfect.
Okay. So you've got a character with a disease that's very similar to Elephant Man, and the concept of the movie is that in the trailer you get this chap who has this disease. He's given the opportunity to make himself normal in inverted brackets, and then it's how he's perceived as a different man. Simple as that. It's a very, very simple concept of the film.
And the guy, he's not in prosthesis, is he? He actually has the
That's
area
correct.
which gives him the funny face, the unusual face.
That's
Sorry,
correct.
Funny face. I
That's
apologise.
correct. Yeah. So you've got two actors. You've got Sebastian Stan,
Yeah.
and you've got the actor who has the disease as well, and very, very good actor. Really, really good.
Because he was in the film with, oh, you're going to help me out with words here, Scarlett Johansson, that you made me watch, where she is an alien. And
That's correct.
Under
Yes.
the Skin.
Under the Skin.
Yes.
Exactly. Brilliant book as well. So this is it's a highly thought-provoking film, understandably so. Okay, it explores the themes of identity, obsession, and the strange nature of self-image, offering a deep look into the mind.
yeah, so the trailer makes it look like a very, like a psychological thriller, not thriller, like a balance of physical perception against mental perception.
100%. Yes, exactly. Now the thing that clinched it for me was it's an A24 movie. So once that stamp's on it, you know that you're in for an interesting storytelling. There's a turning point in Edward's life, who's obviously played by Sebastian Stan, where he meets this really engaging female character, and she's a self-professed. She likes to interact with lots of men.
She's a hoe bag.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because she has relationships with them and then she gets bored quite quickly.
No, that
with
How
these.
quickly?
Usually, I mean,
Are we talking minutes, hours?
She didn't give a time scale. She wasn't. I didn't look on a diary or anything. But that's an important part of the story because what she'll do is she'll become mildly obsessed with somebody and then she'll just get bored of somebody completely. Okay. And then when you're coming across a character who's going through this identity change. Lots of that, coming across like Spider-Man. Anyway, so exactly. So you've got these two strong performances, and they're sort of battling with each other. For me, there was definitely references to David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers. Because they had lots of layers within personalities, lots of layers in self-personality, and also spiraling out of control. So what you have here is you've got a character who got on pretty much with everybody he encountered with, and everybody accepted immediately after they got to know him. Initially, you have the physical barrier of not knowing what's wrong with this person, and you don't know what they're going to be like, and so on and so forth. But once they've met him, once they started talking to him, they realised he's incredibly shy, very, very nervous. But he was a nice guy, and everybody seemed to get on with him. And the change was obviously when he turned into what is perceived as normal, and his personality changed, and he became a lot more vivacious, a lot more in your face, a lot more confident with himself. And then over time, the old personality started to come back again. And that's where things started to go terribly, terribly wrong. Now he tries to, because when he goes through this procedure, nobody recognises him obviously because he looks completely different.
Yeah.
So then he takes advantage of that situation and recreates himself with a brand new name and a brand new career, and then he's drawn back into his old life because he spots the vivacious woman who lived next door to him when he had this disfigurement. Okay, he starts interacting with her. And then he comes across another character who also has the same disfigurement that he used to have. You see, played by the same player. And the amusing table tennis of acting going between the two of them is that obviously the character that used to be disformed is obviously going through a spiraling downwards, and he's obviously starting to have self-doubt. He's obviously starting to question himself, and was he ever good, and were people just accept him for what he was? And then a new character that's come in who has obviously got this disfigurement, who hasn't had the procedure, is incredibly light-hearted, really, really confident, and it's almost like he's watching himself in the mirror and he's angry with himself because he can't portray that character who's very, very vivacious, and if things start going really, really wrong, it's well paced, it's humorous in moments, it challenges perceptions of reflection, and also it's a psychological drama of self-reflection. That's how I'd look upon it.
Drama is the word I was thinking of, not thriller.
Yes, drama. That's exactly. It's quite short. It feels like an independent. The camera shots are quite unsteady. You feel that some of the shots are made through iPhones, and it feels like you're being reminded it's an independent movie. The way it's been shot, the way that the text has been written, and the way that it's been edited, which is a bit clunky in places. And I think that's maybe
intentionally clunky, or
I don't know, but over time, initially,
it's noticeably clunky.
Yeah, initially it's grating because you're trying to get into the story, but as the story goes on, it almost becomes second nature, and you forget all about that.
Right.
And
so the editing is disfigured as well.
Yeah, do you know what? It's a very good way of putting it. I really enjoyed it. It doesn't need to be seen at the cinema. To be fair, because it's not a big film. It's to be fair, it'd almost be better if we watch at home, and so you could have a good chat about it while you're watching it. You could pause it and have a chat and go through all the different.
So why the long face?
Exactly. Very good one. I'm giving it a 7.9 out of 10.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
I enjoyed it. I'll definitely watch it again. I'll definitely watch it with other people to see what they thought about it as well. So it's a film called A Different Man. It's out at the cinema at the moment. Yeah, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, now you're saying that, I have seen the trailer, and what you've described is exactly what you see in the trailer.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of like in the nice bracket, isn't it?
I think so, yeah, very much so. And from an A24 movie, there's nothing, there's some really interesting transformations going from the initial character to this Spansky and Stan looking character, which has got a little bit of body horror, and there's the drama element of it does have some sort of psychological dark edges to it, which could be perceived as almost sort of psychological horror to a certain extent. But I would definitely wouldn't put it in the horror camp. And as an A24 movie, I would put it as one of the most thought-provoking A24 movies I've seen for quite some time.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one, isn't it? Because the film is obviously written around the actor.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? And it's that kind of balance of it's great that he's got a role, and it's so like in the under what the skin under my skin, or
under the skin,
was. I mean, again, he was just like it was just a natural character with disfigurement, which is actually quite a nice thing to have, isn't it? Really,
exactly.
It's just like rather than
So there you go.
In.
It's the dark humour I think works really, really well, and it's loosely intense, because the humour sort of plods along with it as well. There's a little bit of like slapstick humour in it as well. So yeah, I think I did a bit of realism to it, to be fair. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. And Nikki, do you have any facts for us?
It's actually 7.4 on IMDb.
Oh, but they can do one.
IMDb do class it as a comedy thriller.
There you go. It's nice.
It has already won 2 awards. No, there's no chainsaws before you ask.
No, I didn't think so.
It's nominated for 2 and won 2. So it won Best Leading Performance at the Berlin International Film Festival for Sebastian Stan and the Palm Springs International Film Festival for Directors to Watch for Adam Schimberg.
Yeah, he's the other character. Adam is. Incredibly charismatic character. Really comes across very, very well. I'd like to meet him. I think he's British as well.
He is.
Yeah, there you go.
It's filmed in 22 days during the COVID lockdown.
Oh, was it?
Pandemic, yeah.
Okay, it didn't come across like that because I find that sometimes pandemic movies are obviously pandemic movies because they're obviously just stuck in and also set in a room and it's just 2 people just talking. Yeah. This didn't come across like that. So kudos to the editing, I say.
There's a picture of Edward and his mother on Edward's apartment wall, and that's an actual picture of Sebastian Stan and his mother, which is quite cute.
Yeah.
And Charlie Cosmo, who plays one of the characters, I can't remember which one off the top of my head.
Right.
He retired from acting in 1998 and subsequently went into a law as a career, and this marks his 2nd acting role in 5 years after appearing in Chained for Life, which was also with Adam Pearson. And I looked and I thought I recognised him. He's one of the main kids in Hook.
Huh, okay.
The Robin Williams film Hook.
Okay.
Nice.
So there we go. That's all you're getting for your facts.
Thank you very much, Nikki, for that fact update.
What day of the week would you watch it?
Fact update by Nikki Smart.
Is this the new trailer we're going to do?
I just don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
What day of the week would you watch it, James?
Tuesday evening.
Nice.
Awesome. I'm free on Tuesday evening.
It's a date.
Are you free? Because I've got the time.
Beautiful.
Okay, so there you go. That's our first film of the week. Over to the biggie of the week.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, first of all, I think we both need to explain how we felt before we went to the cinema.
Absolutely.
I think so. Because everybody's had the same feeling. And the elephant in the room is that this film has had colossally bad reviews. Internationally, globally, galaxy-wise, everybody who's watched this film, unlike Mechamolopolopoulos, okay, so what you either got 1s or 10s.
Yeah.
In this instance, people are angry. Yeah. And they are giving it 1s and 2s, and people are walking out of the cinema and so on and so forth. How did that react? How did that...
I don't generally read reviews.
No.
And especially if I'm going to see a film. And especially if I'm going to watch a film which has been hyped as much as this has, and we've seen so many trailers.
We have.
And I say trailers because it's not the same trailer over and over. The trailer has changed over
transformed,
time.
Very much
transformed massively. And the first trailers that we saw, which were probably 6-7 months ago,
easily.
Had no evidence of music in them at all.
No.
There was one hint.
Yeah.
There was one hint of a lyric.
For once in my life.
Yeah, and as the trailers have kind of developed over time, they've become more and more musical. And my trepidation for this film has increased massively, and to the degree of severe anxiety this week, if I'm totally honest with you.
Yeah, but isn't that the beauty of cinema?
It's been quite... I've never had a feeling like it, of not wanting to go and see a film.
Because you're terrified you're going to hate it.
And I mean, I just knew I was going to hate it. And it was just... I mean, I hated the trailers by the end. And the development in the trailers just made me angry. Because I was just thinking, this is... the Joker is such an important character to so many people, and we've got the Heath Ledger one, we've got the traditional ones from the old Adam Jobby faces, Batmans and Jack Nicholson, and this is in the Batman world, this is
he's numero uno villain.
He's the biggie. I mean,
he's a Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I must admit, I didn't want to go and see this.
Now, myself and Sophie was really, really anxious about seeing this film.
Yeah.
I, however, was really looking forward to it because I had complete faith in Joaquin Phoenix. in a gigantic way, and I really feel like I'm getting my head around how he's thinking, which is quite scary, really.
So how do we talk about this film? Cause,
Yes,
I mean,
we don't want to give. I don't think we should give away the final subplot away, because I think that would. However, but that's one of the reasons why people should go and watch it. Does that make sense? That's how I feel about it.
So it's a really difficult one to talk about. This is a film that almost I feel like we should review again in a month's time. I think we should review our review.
Yes.
And come back and maybe do a bit of colouring in.
I agree.
Because we can't really talk about the plot too much.
Not too much, no.
I mean, we can start off by saying that Joaquin Phoenix has transformed his body for this film
again
in a way which is absolutely uncomfortable beyond belief to see, and the opening scenes where he's walking around with his shirt off and you see his bare back is,
and the bones coming through,
it's painful to watch. So it was like
The Machinist,
exactly right. It's that degree of
self-mutilation, really, at the end of the day.
Emaciation. It's he's painfully thin and painfully disturbed. And so
and a mirror image of the first film, because he had that sort of level of
100%.
of lack of nutrients inside him in the first one.
So he's basically in a high security.
He's in Arkham.
He's
in the iconic mental institution in DC world.
Yeah.
So he's slap bang in the middle of what every single fanboy would want to be inside. They'd want to have. They want to see Bane. They'd want to see all of the characters in there. Now, when I watch this film for the second or third time, I'm going to be looking out for those characters, because there was definitely some hints or nods towards the classic DC characters. Within, obviously, you've got Harvey Dent, who's obviously the in the courtroom. You've obviously got Harley Quinn, and there was another massive nod to another character later on as well. So kudos to the filmmakers, so they still are dipping their toe into the commercial cliche DC world. Obviously, there's a moment where Arthur Dent is Arthur Speck is being transported from one part of Gotham to another part of Gotham, and they're going through it on a train, and you see the Wayne Enterprises. That I love that tiny little hints of that. I really enjoy.
Yeah, it was so
subtle as hell.
So for me, the lightness of hints, especially of that, was a real surprise.
Yes.
So the absence of other characters in this was a real surprise.
Yes. But it all comes through at the end. This is a really difficult review. Yeah, it's a really difficult review to do. And I think it's a difficult film for them to make, really. so let's go back to a little bit, so that we're not sort of jumping around things too much. So realistically, this film to me, and I'm sure you could disagree with me on many levels. This film to me worked on multiple levels. Okay, it continued with the main characters spiraling out of control when it comes to his mental state.
This film is entirely about mental health.
100%.
Yeah.
So the scenes of the musical scenes to me, are so beautifully disturbing, because there are certain scenes, and this is not giving any of the plot away. There are certain scenes where a character will be singing, and the rest of the characters in the vicinity are going, "What are they singing for?" Okay.
And other scenes,
they all sing together in a musical sort of style. And
other scenes again where they are appreciating the sing, but in an almost like it because some of the songs are. Well, the majority of the songs are actually to do with mental state,
massively,
mental health state.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got
also
a bit of
despair and love and lack of love, and the it's a. Go on, what were you going to say?
I can't, because I'm going to then disclose something which I don't.
Don't disclose anything.
So you saw the reviews and everything before we actually got into the film. Mm-hmm. What were the major points of contention that we can actually discuss?
Very good point. Okay, that's a good way.
I think it's a healthy place to start.
Good way of looking at it.
Word it.
a lot of people were really viciously unhappy with the lack of development of the Joker character. And they were very, very unhappy and angry about the fact that this character, they wanted this character to become this super villain with doors being broken down, riots taken in the street, and the Gotham being taken over, and a big fight with Batman, and so on and so forth. And they basically wanted a Christopher Nolan or a Tim Burton-esque finish to the movie. And this is not what they're going to get, okay? They're going to get a deeper, darker, more intellectual look at that level of mental state.
Were they entitled to that?
No.
Do you think this film is a betrayal
No.
to DC?
No, not in any shape or form. In fact, what is frustrating me with the haters of this film is that they're looking at the history, or they're looking at Joker 1 through rose-tinted glasses. That's what they're doing. They're forgetting how dark and disturbing that first movie was.
Did you watch it before you went to see Joker 2? Did you see it last week?
I went to see it about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I saw it 3 weeks ago.
It's a really disturbing,
Yeah,
dark
exactly.
film. Yeah,
But
and I'd forgotten
exactly.
how dark and deep it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they forgot how the pace of it was a lot slower than people
Yeah,
get it to be.
totally, yeah.
And what's really frustrating for me is that because it won all the awards and because it was a little bit of a surprise and it came out of nowhere, it did have these. It was like a false prophet, you see. And people put that character onto a pedestal, very similar to the way they've done it in the film. And I feel the perception of this film mirrors what's happened with the crowd within the film itself.
Go on, tell me. Say that again.
Okay. So what I'm trying to explain to you is, and I was explaining to the Sophie and Sophie didn't believe me at all. The way I see this movie is that in the first film, okay.
For those of you not watching on YouTube,
Yes.
James has changed his position.
Yes.
And his entire demeanour.
Yes, I'm up for it now. Right. So the concept of the second film was to highlight how much the Joker character being put onto a pedestal and being lifted to a higher level. Okay.
Yeah.
The anger towards the Joker, the character, and also the Joker 2, the movie, okay, is because it didn't perform the way that the way that the audience wanted him to perform. They were angry because
Oh,
they.
okay, I get where you come from. Yeah. I've got
Okay,
you. I've got
they self-projected how they wanted the movie to be, and they're angry because they're not getting what they projected it to be. And I love that. I relish that because to me, that's the movie makers saying, no. This is not what you're going to get. Okay, you're going to get what you're given. Okay, just like a good chef.
Yeah.
That's how I look at this film.
Yeah, so I mean, I went into this film without having any kind of idea about the plot or where we were going to go, and it's very much an inward and outward study of a character, and it's the public's perception of what they believe a person to be,
Yes.
and that person's inward battle as to who they are.
Yeah.
If they are more than one personality,
Yep.
and why they are one or two personalities, and it's a very, very in-depth study of those things.
Absolutely. Now, Lady Gaga's character, however,
Yeah.
okay, she, the way I look at this, she antipathizes the height of that fanboy base.
Yes.
Okay, so massively obsessed with Joker the character, not with Arthur. Joker the character, massively obsessed with him, completely sort of oozing after this character in many ways, more ways than one. Okay, and then once that situation's changed, and once that perception has become lower than they were expecting, then things started to happen. And then her character changed significantly towards how she was interacting with Arthur, not the Joker. And I feel that's the same way that the audience is doing.
So will there be a Harlequin film, do you
No,
think?
not at all. There's no need for because if you watch the movie, then you realise characters aren't who you think they're going to be. People aren't going to. Yeah, I think that there's a fantastic tie in a bow on the top of a fantastic present of Joker 1 and Joker 2.
Did I like this movie?
You did, and you're trying not to show it.
I fucking love this. Absolutely. I do not understand. I don't understand.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I do understand the criticism.
Yes.
Because the people going to see this film
We're expecting.
were expecting something very, very different. And, okay, so I do feel there is an element of cheat on the fan base.
Absolutely.
Because you're not given what you're expecting in this film.
Yes.
And there is another degree of cheat which I can't describe.
No.
I can't explain.
Can I just point something out to you?
Yeah.
What is the line? Even in the trailer, what is the line that's used all the way through? And what does Lady Gaga's character say all the way through?
Just go on. Yeah, you're gonna have to keep me going.
We're going to give the audience what they wanted.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And that to me is a massive middle finger up to the DC fanboys.
So I was terrified about the music in this film.
I know.
And then the playlist. What do you call it? The
Playlist,
soundtrack.
yeah.
Thank you. That's the word. Thank you, producer. The soundtrack. It's almost like they put the soundtrack together
And then put the story around it.
and put the story around it, because the use of song and the delivery of song is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And it's just like, and you almost get to the point. Well, I almost got to the point where I was looking forward to the next song.
No, because...
And I hate musicals. And the way that Joaquin Phoenix sings,
I know.
is. Sometimes it's really beautiful, and sometimes it's really uncomfortable, and it's just like you're watching a psychotic person deliver a tune, and it's done in a psychotic manner in some cases.
And people forget he did Walk the Line as Johnny Cash, and he sung all the way through that.
Yeah,
so he's got the lungs.
So what do we like about this film? The cinematography. The pace of this film, the delivery of a very, very shallow and capsuled storyline,
100%,
incredibly beautifully. It's really weird because I'm angry with the people who are angry about this film, but likewise, I totally understand why they're angry with this film, because
it's been on purpose. It's completely done on purpose. Sophie doesn't think so, but sorry, Sophie, but
you think this is done to create conversation, because they could have produced an absolutely alternative film
massively
with the same cast, basically the same storyline, tweaked, and it would have been the most different film to this 100%. You could ever possibly
You just need to change one or two elements in it, and it could have been another successful Suicide Squad. Rather than the shit Suicide Squad.
This is a difficult film to put together. It's a difficult film to perform.
Yeah.
It's a very, I mean, the quality of relationship in this between people that you wouldn't expect to be.
The head guard.
He
was amazing.
He's
a gorgeous actor anyway. It's Brendan Gleeson, I think, if I recall. From 28 Days Later.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I mean, the relationship between him and Arthur.
Dark, but also weirdly light at the same.
Absolutely.
When he sang,
magical relationship between the two of them, and Arthur Fleck does something to upset him.
He does,
and the change in the relationship after that is heartbreaking. Yeah. And I sat the whole way through the film, and I was just. I just couldn't believe that I was absolutely enthralled by this thing.
I was enjoying people walking out. 3 people walked out.
It's just mad. I mean, this is the bravest film to make ever.
At that level of budget, you would expect this level of bravery with a 2-cent independent movie, and you're going to go, and it would have been under the radar, and people went, "Oh, that was quite quirky." But to have that level of budget and to have that level of expectation, and there was no private screenings for this film.
Was there not?
No, they did it completely on purpose. They didn't want the studio executives stepping in and going, no, that's not what we've paid for.
It's this thing.
Super brave.
It's so brave, and it's just not what you're going to expect.
Not at all.
So don't go expecting to see rubber-clad muscle men, because you're not going to see that.
Not at all.
Damn it.
It's a.
And do you think do you think you would have looked at it through similar eyes if you hadn't spent the last 50 weeks looking at films?
Oh, good question.
Do you think you would have been in either camp?
I would have been angry.
Yeah.
I would have banked more on the angry side than I have on this, and I do still have a degree of
Yeah,
anger.
yeah.
And actually,
But I think that spurs you up a little
I
bit.
would kind of like them to make the other film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
It would
yeah.
almost be quite nice if they
Yeah.
released 2 films at the same time.
Yeah.
Because this one.
Could be the black and white version and the colour version almost.
Yeah.
You know, that's
So
sort of
the
thing.
only thing I would say is that this film could potentially not be a DC Joker film.
Oh, 100%.
And it would be equally as good.
Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
But it's almost like they've used the first Joker film
Yeah.
as the
platform.
backstory fill-in.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
And so I went with Pauline and Finn last
did
night.
you?
And I was most interested to hear Finn's view of it.
And have we
Finn's,
got a review?
Finn's 16. He didn't do a review.
Mm-hmm.
But on the way out,
Yes.
we were walking home, and I said,
Well, what did you think?
exactly.
Yeah.
It was just like, we fucking smashed it, didn't they?
There you go.
And I was just like, wow.
I was very quiet when I left the cinema.
Did
And
you-
Sophie went, please tell me you liked it. I went, yes.
Did she like it?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, it's a thing of beauty.
Mm.
And I know we're in a subjective industry doing this Popcorn Pundits,
100%.
but everyone's fucking wrong.
They are.
Everyone
They
is
are.
so wrong.
Steve Coogan was brilliant in it as well.
Oh, Steve, and he does this. He does this thing, and he's being an interviewer.
I know.
And part of
In
him,
a slightly Alan Partridge way. There's a little hint of it.
he does a face. And so I didn't see it as Alan Partridge. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's quite Alan Partridge because I think he's actually really conniving.
Yeah.
And he does this fuck you face.
He does, yeah.
And it's shown in profile. And in my head, I went, fuck you, Steve Coogan. I did. I was just like, fuck you, Steve Coogan. That's bang out of order. And
Leave him alone.
Leave him a fuck alone. And
He's going through a hard time.
I totally did.
Good.
And I loved Harlequin in this. I just thought.
I have to say, she's really proving herself to be a fantastic actor. I loved her in Gucci.
Yeah, I haven't seen Gucci.
Oh,
I'm
she's
sorry. No, I
amazing.
haven't seen it.
Adam Driver, you'd love him.
Yeah, I can't. He's done nothing good since Girls.
No, he is not.
Yeah. So.
But no, she was fantastic in it, and she. What I loved how she portrayed the character. She could have easily railroaded the whole movie and went, "I'm Lady Gaga, look at me," but she didn't. She kept
She's
it
so understated.
very, and people were angry about that.
Yeah, but she's understated, but there is an underbubble
Of course
of
there is.
I'm gonna fucking go
Yeah.
the whole way through the movie. And maybe it comes, maybe it doesn't.
Exactly.
Oh, we need to review this film again in a month's
There you
time
go.
already.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm really. Do you know? I'm.
Okay, so I saw you in the afternoon yesterday before
Yeah.
I went to see this film.
I kept it really close to my chest.
You did, but I didn't.
Yes.
I was just like, I don't want to go and see this. I'm not in the right mood for this. I'm in a fucking bad mood,
Yeah.
and this film is going to make it worse.
And I said, I've seen it, and you went,
I don't want to, but no, I never want to know with
No.
you. I always kind of have an opinion as to what I think you think of something.
yes.
And I knew you would be giddy McGiddy on this because it's got every element apart from men birthing men of a beautifully complex James film.
Yeah.
And and you are set a challenge in this film. You are set a challenge.
You've got to roll your sleeves and jump in, don't you?
And you have to be willing to watch human beings struggle, and
Yeah.
this film is all about
Absolutely.
mental struggle. Yeah, we've done 50 weeks of film review
Yeah.
now, and the fact that the film industry are so there are so many films about mental health, and I had no clue whatsoever.
And they're not obvious, a lot of them as well.
Yeah, it's really fascinating that the stories that people are telling are really, really heartfelt. This wasn't what I was expecting to see. This was not what I was expecting to see. I'm so pleased they made this film.
Me too. In a way, I'm now, in reflection, I would have been disappointed if it was a bish bash bosh slap bang thing, big superhero movie. I would have went, I've seen it before. Christopher Nolan's done it so much better in the past.
Yeah,
So yes, massive tick.
massive tick.
What score are you going to give it?
9.3. It's sensational.
Yeah.
It's sensational.
I'm going to change my review.
Wow.
I'm going to change my number now. I give it 8.8. I'm going to give it 9.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
There you go.
So June 2
Yep.
changed my life. Yeah. I
Yeah.
literally watched June.
You went to London to go and watch it
I
afterwards.
watched it 3 times at the cinema, and then I watched the original one twice. I then downloaded the audiobook. I liked this as much as that.
There you
It
go.
is absolutely phenomenal.
Good. Modern filmmaking, breaking the barriers down, and giving a big middle finger to commercial television and movies. We love it.
It's just you're gonna watch.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat what I put on your plate.
Summer Bonwick.
You said it fucking
Summer
right.
Bonwick.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely
it is.
right. You
Big
were
shout out to our local massive chef,
absolutely legend in our midst.
which we'll be eating on Friday.
You can't say that
Why not?
because it's always a secret.
Yeah, but you know about it already. It's fine. Anyway, there you go. I told you at the start. Anyway, Nikki, do you have any facts for us quickly?
Yes, I do. So this will actually be Joaquin Phoenix's first sequel in all of his career.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can see him saying no to Life is Beau Part 2.
Beau's Afraid. I was thinking Beau's Afraid is exactly what I was thinking. And you kind of when you're watching. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I really apologise. When you're watching this film, you are sent back to Beau. I mean, it is like Beau's Afraid. I mean, it's not a million miles away.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
So the film's working title was just Folie, Deux, or however you say it. I can never say it. Sorry, Sophie.
That was very close.
Which means Madness of Two in French. It initially led to speculation about Harley Quinn's appearance in the film, which was shortly, obviously, thereafter confirmed. And the term comes from the 19th century psychiatrist Charles Liege and Jules Farret, also known as Liege and Farlet syndrome, and it depicts 2 or more people that share the same madness or delusion.
Oh, cause that's really mad because within that we're actually dealing with 2 people with a similar psychosis and 1 person who's bipolar. So we've actually got a madness of 2 in 1 person and 2 people.
Yeah.
And the first trailer received 167 million online views within the first 24 hours. It's the second.
Sorry, say that number again.
So the first trailer received 167 million online views
And that's the reason why people are so angry.
within the first 24
Wow.
hours.
Yeah.
The second most of any Warner Brothers film after the 2017.
Inside Out 2.
Yeah. After the 2017 film It, which got 197 million views.
Wow.
2 clown movies.
Oh my god, yeah. Boom.
Bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But and yet again, another reason, and yet again, I can guarantee when they saw those numbers coming through, they went, right, we've got an audience to play with.
Fuck me, that is
biggie.
that is-
Because if you think about it, the pressure of that will be on immediately. It wouldn't it? You go, I've got the biggest trailer of all time.
Imagine
And
if you're
now
the producers of this film.
Yeah, they
And
go.
they're going, we have got the biggest potential audience of the
I
entire
know.
life.
Let's turn it into a musical. Let's not give the audience what they want.
Oh man,
Let's just give them stuff that we want to give them.
be a fly on the wall in that meeting.
Exactly. Can you imagine it?
Hang on a minute, I've got an idea.
Yeah. Let's piss everybody off.
But how
Apart from
I
Peter
see
and
that
James.
how I see that meeting going is one of the producers turning up and going, I think we should put all those songs in this.
Yeah.
And they're going, oh, fucking love that one. Oh, that's a fucking cracker.
That's a banger.
Hang on a minute, you might have an idea here.
Exactly. Let's write a story around that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, wow.
Anything else?
That's it. We have had a review in
Oh,
from
right.
Jenna Killington.
Hi, Jenna.
I will say
Hi,
to
Jenna.
people, if you don't want spoilers, skip ahead 2 minutes because this has a spoiler in it, this
Right.
review.
Okay.
Okay, so she said, personally, I loved a dark and twisted La La Land. And the end joke, taking it full circle to Arthur's hope and faith in humour, was poetic way for him to...
Anyway, yeah, let's not give that
That's
last bit
why I
away.
stopped.
Yes, exactly. Well read. Well
Thank
read.
you.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for sending that review in, Jenna. If anybody else would like to send her, please, if you don't agree with us, and I can guarantee there'll be quite a few of our listeners out there that went, they're talking horseshit.
Yeah, I mean, so this score is
Yes.
not going to stay at 9.2. It's not going to stay at 9.2 because there are going to be a lot of people who fucking hate this.
Yes.
And
we want them to get in contact with
And
us.
I've learned
Favourite
over
podcast.
recent weeks about the subjectivity of what we do.
Absolutely.
The people who hate this are justified and they're right. They are right.
They are right to hate it.
To hate this
They're
film.
right to hate it. But I feel sorry for them.
And I don't.
The haters.
No, it's just they were expecting something else. And I can totally understand that because I
Nikki,
was too.
your hand was up.
Yes, just two last things.
Yes.
The score currently on IMDb is 5.3.
I know.
And the last thing, so you know when you go onto IMDb normally,
Yes.
it's like a gold and black, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once you go into the Joker and try and get all the facts, it goes black and red.
I know, I love that. All the screen goes black and red. And be near the end.
Could you use words?
No,
No,
just
that
sounds.
was the perfect dyslexic description.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It
Excellent.
works for me.
I'm clueless.
I'm happy with that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. What's our final score, Nikki, for the Joker?
9.2.
9.2.
9.
Just below, There Will Be Blood.
And June 2.
And June 2. Yes. So just
Well, we're
above
going
one life.
to introduce you to something next week, which we
Next
definitely
week, yeah.
we definitely didn't steal from Top Gear.
Not at all, but it is great.
But actually, we think it's a really kind of helpful addition to,
I think so,
to what we do.
And we're going to be posting this on our socials as well. I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, no, it's What a week!
What
I
a
mean,
week.
we've had some pretty average. I mean, last week we almost decided to start a book club, didn't we? Because the films were so fucking average. It was just like,
Now, let me
don't go to the cinema to see this. Don't watch this at home.
Yes.
Don't watch this.
Now, we do need to address the second elephant in the room. It's only a small elephant, but you didn't do your homework this week.
No, I didn't.
But you're too busy getting giddy about Joker. I'm going to reset your homework to watch that because did you start watching it?
I watched literally the first 30 seconds, and
Okay.
I was so not in the headspace for the film that you set me.
You need to watch it with the family. You need to have crisps and snacks in front of you. It is going to be, to me, it's going to be a gluttony of beautiful fantasy family entertainment.
So you sent me The Fall.
The Fall, 2006. The Fall.
2006, The Fall.
Yes.
And it's a little bit tricky to find. It is on Prime.
It is.
And it does cost £3.49p,
That's
which
correct.
is all fine. But if you go onto Prime, it describes it as a series. So I couldn't find it for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So but when you click on it, it says movie. But,
Okay,
but,
good.
But just
Weird.
yeah,
one, isn't it?
yeah.
Prime, sort yourself out.
Yeah, so it was just a little thing, but just
Okay.
in case people are watching the right thing, because
Yeah.
when you type The Fall into search,
Yes.
there's actually a few different options.
Well, you got a television series The Fall with Gillian Anderson as well.
Yeah, exactly. So so anyway, so it's the thumbnail picture is basically it's like
It's a red
it's a
mask.
red rectangle with
That's
eyes.
that's correct.
So that's the one
That's
you
the
want
one
to
you watch.
see. So
And
please,
seriously, it is so revered. This film is
Okay, cool.
so revered. I think you'd be giddy when you come back next
cool.
week.
So please watch it and give us a review next week as well. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to watch
That's fine.
it, but I am looking forward to seeing it this week.
So films next week. What we're going to start publicising what films we're going to be watching next week as well on our
You told me about
socials.
this, I don't know.
It's all right. I'm just making this up as I go along. I'm going to be watching Scream Unseen tonight.
Would you like
Tonight.
clues for that?
I think I've got a pretty. Tell me what the clues are, and I've got a pretty idea what it is.
Okay, so the
Is it Screen or Scream?
Scream
Scream.
Unseen.
Oh,
so
okay.
clue one
Yeah.
is Beantown's higher. How'd you say that? Crustacean.
I can't see the word. Where is
That
it?
one. Look by my finger.
Crustacean.
Yes. I got the word right. Clue two is McLean takes aim, and clue three is guided by Virgil.
Yeah. So I'm not familiar with those clues. However, my very intelligent wife at home has looked at those clues already and she's figured it out and she thinks it's a film called Terrifier 3. Okay.
Okay.
Which is,
You know she cheats, yeah?
yeah, massively.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
She would say, I use Le Google.
no, she doesn't. Anyway,
Le Google.
and I've got a funny feeling this is the third part of an extreme horror movie. And just think to yourself, slasher, but extreme.
Okay.
Yeah, clown mask again,
Okay.
all white. I'm thinking Hills of Eyes. I'm thinking that sort of level of dark humour. However, on Saturday, my wife's birthday, we're going to be watching the film Salem's Lot.
Ooh.
Right.
Stephen King movie,
Yeah.
released this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. You're looking at me confused and in bewilderment. I've seen no trailers for this film at all.
I've not seen a single trailer for this
Exactly. It's just sneaked up behind us, like all
film.
good.
The only Stephen King
ghosty
one I've
things.
seen recently.
Monkey!
Monkey. monkey bollocks.
Yes, I can't wait for that either. No, this is a remake. You got David Soul. You got remnants of David Soul from the television series from the 1970s. So I've read the book. I'm very excited about it, and I'll be reviewing that next week.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
There you go.
I'll go and see something.
Yes.
I'll go and see Outrun.
Yes, go and see Outrun.
Yeah.
Please do. Yeah. Nikki.
That's everything.
Is that all? Is all we've got to report?
Yes.
Have we been good boys this week?
When are you ever good boys?
Yes, very true. Peter.
Hi.
Would you like to let us know how to get in contact with us and how to?
Oh yeah. So if you have watched James's bipolar personality during this review, you'll be watching us on YouTube. Oh, so you want to have some comments? So you can leave a comment underneath our YouTube video.
That's right.
You can comment on Facebook, on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You can WhatsApp us individually.
Yeah.
Or if you're streaming our podcast on one of the many podcast streaming platforms,
that's right.
They have a little message to podcasters button, so you press that.
Please get in contact with us. That'd be
we just love your interaction. It's really nice. Whether you want to slag us off or tell us we're wonderful, or just comment about films that we're watching or something that you've watched which we haven't watched and maybe we should. Mm-hmm. Just tell us.
Please do. That'd be great.
Or to thank us for introducing them to Sheila Buff.
Sheila Buff.
Yeah, we love a bit of Sheila.
Yeah.
Sheila Buff.
And if you're texting us, which it's in the description of each episode, make sure you leave your name because it doesn't know who you are.
Or don't.
As it's almost Halloween.
Exactly.
It's terrifying.
Yes, indeed.
So I think that's us, isn't it?
I think we're over and done with. Peter, over to you for the papas.
Jazz
Popcorn Pundits. Week
50.
Week 50.
Say